Hey fellas, we're up here at Lake George and we just had our first real ride. These brand new 2022 Lowrider STs. I've done a couple of videos on them already, but now we put them in their element design. This is Harley's #1 performance street bike that they make. It's a 117 cubic inch right out of the box. These are twins, they're both new 2022s. And this road, Route 9 North, coming out of Lake George is absolutely freaking fantastic. If you come up to Lake George from Arcade, got to come up 9 North. It's probably one of the best roads in the Northeast. Uphill, downhill, it's like a roller coaster of primo tarmac. And these 22 SDs are just freaking awesome. They come stock with the Michelin 31 Scorchers, upside down forks, dual front disc brakes. You know the deal if you've done any research on these. They come with the CVO motor, 117 cubic inch or 1891 cc's out of the box, and they are an absolute hoot. They handle amazing. Has a little bit longer suspension travel than the Lowrider S, and I'm gonna say right now, after that ride, I believe that these bikes handle better than my FXR. Certainly better than the FXR handles stock. Even modified with the Olin shocks and all the swing arm bushings and the motor mounts and the Legend fork kit. This handles better, I do believe, especially two up, than my FXR, my beloved FXR. And as far as comparing this with my Dyna, my 2007 CVO Dyna, it's light years better for a lot of different reasons. The technology has come a long way. These M8 motors are balanced beautifully, tons of power, fuel injected, killer brakes, big 180/70 B16 rear tire on the back of this thing, but not too big. You don't want a tire that's too big. This one's just right. And we got it set up for touring with Christy on the back. We were just motoring down the highway here. We got up to, so much for keeping it under, will this void my warranty if I say we're doing 90 at the first time? We had up to 90 miles an hour on these twisty back roads, which doesn't seem fast until you realize there are no straights. Just awesome. What did you think? Was that fun?
It's incredible. Incredible.
Did you like that, Christy?
Oh yeah, can we do more?
Hell yeah. So we met one of the locals up here at the Harley shop, Brian Shanahan, who he actually has a house up here, and he had the same exact bike as mine. He's a crazy bastard. He kept right up to us doing 90 on these twisty back roads.
This guy can ride.
That was fun, wasn't it?
That was incredible.
Hey,
absolutely incredible.
I want to hear from you. Now, you're not a normal Harley rider. You've got a Road Glide, a turbocharged Road Glide that's got the swing arm done and everything. Right. Give me your rider's report after a few hundred miles on your 22 Fxlr ST.
I've never ridden a Harley that performs like these. Never in my life. My Road Glide with all the suspension work and the turbo, it just can't compare. I've never ridden a Harley that performs like this. I rode the Lowrider S, the 2020. I literally took it to a clover leaf and rode it for 20 minutes, the demo, just hitting the clover leaves on and off. And I took it back to the dealer knowing that I couldn't buy that bike because I needed windshield protection and bags.
Yep.
So when they came out with this bike, I immediately called the dealer and put in my order.
Same thing. Christy and I were driving around in Florida the morning they came out. We watched the video live that Harley Davidson released. I picked up the phone. I called my dealer. I said, I want a Lowrider Fxlr ST. I want one of these, and I want the first one you get. So take my card. And they produced it. We got it from Harley Davidson dealer. We got the first one that came in, and this has been the first. I didn't ride it because it had a solo saddle like this. It come with a solo saddle, and Christy and I ride together all the time. We work all the time, so this is our getaway. It's our fun. It's our way to unwind. So the saddle just came in, and the backrest. I won't ride without a backrest because she flew off the back of my FXR one time riding a wheelie. That was it. I think her guardian angel must have caught it. It literally happened.
I want to say one thing to your subscribers. This guy can ride. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Thank you, I appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. I like to ride with we were coming up here, and I was like, is this God's honest truth? We're coming up here, and we ended up behind a chick on a trike and a heavy set woman on a trike and a dude on a trike following some minivans, and we were like 3 minutes behind them, and I was like, my blood pressure was starting to boil, and I was like, if I had a cyanide pill, I'd chew on it right now, or I'd pass him, one or the other. But so he motored past him, I hammered down, and we were just gone. But if you get stuck, it's a no passing road, and if you get stuck behind a slow group, We made a lot of friends here last year. On our, we came up on
You
our.
were #1, baby.
Yeah, I got voted #1 a couple times. I'm sure, if you know what I mean. But we were on our dyno. We have a hot rod. We had a hot rod dyno. I know, one fully built motor, suspension, and everything. And that dyna pales in comparison. The problem with the dyna is I never felt confident that it wouldn't wobble, because it had the dyno wobble, and it can be tuned out. It can be tuned out, but you always wonder, do I have it tuned out perfectly when you start getting around 90 miles an hour and you're into some twisty stuff?
Well, I mean, you were just riding 2 up, right? We were just, I wouldn't say pushing these bikes to the limit.
Not even close. They have a lot more.
But we were pushing them.
Yeah.
And the things you were doing 2 up, I mean, I don't know, you're 230. I don't know what you weigh. I don't know what you weigh, but that's a lot of weight on that bike. And, and you were hustling.
Yeah, the bike, very confidence inspiring. Never once did I feel like I was even approaching the limits. The only reason I wasn't going faster was there's a lot of wet spots on the road with leaves and shit, and I was like, I had to have a vision of sliding into these guardrails and having a limb chopped off at 80 miles an hour. So that was keeping me honest, you know. But
thank goodness.
that was fun. We Lake George is absolutely stunning, guys. If you ever get a chance to come up to Americade, you definitely want to come up here. It's a beautiful town, tons of little villages as you ride around. We're heading up to Laconia next week. That's our next move, is going up to Laconia. I'll be doing the guns. I guess now if I'm going to say it, I really got to do it. But unless I chicken out, which I probably won't, and we got to get the bike ready. But we're going to do the hill climb at Gunstock on my CR 500 in about 100 hours. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But what I've changed on mine, you can see his has the stock windshield on it. When we left the gas station earlier, Christy handed me a lit cigar, and I was smoking a cigar doing 80 miles an hour behind this windshield, and it was working great. And I was like, you know what? I'm onto something here, man, because this taller windshield creates a perfect wind buffet where you can smoke your cigar and ride your Harley, which is about as good as it gets, man. So definitely cool. Oh, another thing I just found out is it has a USB charging port right here. I didn't know that. It has a USB charging port so you can charge the phone. The fit and finish on it is awesome. We went with the tall boy seat because, I'm 6'2", and the peg, the mid mount pegs are a little bit cramped. So the tall boy seat gave me the room I needed. The bags are awesome. This is a Harley Davidson product right here, the backpack. This is the best $280 I ever spent was for this Harley Davidson backpack. They charge a premium for the backrest to mount it, but it was well worth it.
Ken, tell them about the USB.
Yeah, it's got a USB. I was gonna go buy a USB charger for my phone, and he's like, and I'm looking at his bike, and I'm like, where'd you get your USB charger? And he goes, it comes with it stock. It's got it mounted right up on the frame here. So I had no idea.
Oh, no shit.
But for me, when I saw this bike when it first came out, I've been riding FXR since 1990. That was 25 years ago. I got my first one, and I've had a couple FXR-Ts with this style fairing. For me, it was like a reincarnation of a bike from my youth that I love so much. And even if it wasn't that good, I probably would have liked it anyways. But but it's really freaking good, you know.
That's crazy.
It's
the confidence, like. I'm following you. I know I'm under control, because if you can do it, 2 up, it's nothing for me, right? So I'm watching you. You didn't fall down, so I knew I was safe.
Figured we both make it. I kind of like having when we rode with Gerald Rothman Jr. last year around Laconia.
When
I was
we
on my
came around that corner and there was a freaking airplane.
There was an airplane in the road, in the fucking road. It was being towed. You know, Gerald Rothman Jr. is one of the best road racers ever to come out of New England. He won Daytona. He used to beat Miguel de Hamel, all those guys. Huge fan of his. Now we're really close friends, and our kids grew up together. But we're following him, and he's fast. And he was on my 17 lowrider, all built with a 117. He had the lowrider S that I sold to him, and we're following him on a turbo dyno. But having a fast rider in front of you, you kind of follow his arc and everything. And
we were flying.
Yeah, we were absolutely ripping.
We were flying.
We came around the corner. It was a freaking one of those. They had it on
his back tire going out. And I'm
he would literally power slide it around corners, but it was awesome. Yeah. So guys, Harley Davidsons don't have to be boring. And with this bike right here, with the Lowrider ST, you get the best of both worlds. It looks like a mini road glide. The fairing and the bags are similar to the functionality of a road glide, but it's on a much lighter frame, 120 pounds lighter, more horsepower because it's got the CVO motor.
And if you don't like mid controls, the Heritage Softail stuff, bolts right up.
Because the soft up for chassis is the same, right?
Correct.
I sat on his bike at the Harley dealer. What this does, the floorboards do, is they move your range of motion for your foot. It gives you about 8 inches of forward and backwards travel. So if your legs get a little tired, I'm not going to do that with mine because I already ordered the Bung King highway pegs, which will give me what I need. But as far as plans for the bike, it's stock right now. Besides the windshield and the smoked lenses, which are filthy right now, the bag and the backrest of the seat, and the pegs here. Other than that, it's bone stock. I got a thunder header on order, and that's what I'm doing next, is putting a thunder header on this thing and a tuner. And who knows, maybe we'll go see Moonshine Harley Davidson after Christmas and buy myself a 135 kit. But this is a really nice bike too. This is a CVO Street Glide. This came stock with a 110 cubic inch Screaming Eagle. This one's got Legend suspension front and rear. The CVO gives you the killer sound system. Just a beautiful bike. And that was going to be my next step, to get a road glide or a street glide. Actually, a road glide is what I wanted, but I don't think I need to go there. I honestly don't think I need to get a road glide now, because we were talking about that would be our next step, but
right.
I'm not sure.
You get a stereo in here, and the Thunderhead is unhappy.
Well, with the tall boy seat, it slid me back a little bit more. I'm getting used to the pegs. I don't like my knees being up that high. I will be using the highway pegs a lot when I get them on there. So I think, yeah, I'm comfortable. I'm definitely comfortable. I can ride pretty much all day on it. There's very little vibration. I wish the bars came back about 2 inches more.
Right.
And I wish the pegs were about an inch lower and 2 inches farther forward, which I'm not ready for forward controls, because you can't wheelie or power slide and ride it like a dirt bike with forward controls as much, but that might be my next step. If I can't, if I don't like the highway pegs, I might try the forward controls.
I'll tell you what, it just creates flexibility with the bike.
Yep.
Right? It creates a flexibility. Clearly, we can ride fast with forward controls.
Yep.
Right?
No doubt.
The only limitation, I think, with the forwards is the type of stuff that you're talking about. If you really want to go off the rails and you're younger and you're comfortable, the mids are perfect, I guess. But that's just not for me.
Hey, these Fxlr STs aren't just for kids, right?
No,
Us old guys have fun on them too.
That's right.
That's for shit show.
And old gals.
One.
So hey man, I'm sitting here and these guys got these freaking fast bikes. I'm following in the Street Glide CVO. I'm like, hey, they're gonna lose me on these quick couple turns here. I'm gonna get them in a straightaway. There's a straightaway coming. I'm gonna fucking get them. So all of a sudden we get that straightaway, pound it down. I hit 100, get to the top of the hill. I'm looking down, nothing. Gone. I'm like, oh, maybe there's one more. Following through, best I can, hammer through. I don't know these roads. Second straightaway, bop, 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 get it to 100. Nope, gone.
It's all in the corners, man. It's all in the corner speed, man.
corners.
Yeah, these things handle amazing.
I get around here, all of a sudden we get to the rest stop. These guys are unbuckled, off the bikes, hanging out.
Doing a video.
Yeah, doing a video. I'm like, Jesus, man.
So your road glide not only has a turbo and a built motor, but you also did the aluminum swing arm on it.
I didn't do aluminum swing arm. I did O-leans front and rear.
O-leans front and rear.
I did true track stabilizer front and rear.
Yep.
It's not 100%.
It's a lot better than stock.
It's
a
a lot
weight
better
like
than
yours.
stock. My bike rides firm. Guys that are comfortable on regular touring bikes, they don't like my bike. It's a firm touring bike, and it's.
What turbo did you put on there?
It's got an Aerocharger 66 on it.
What do you think she's putting at the rear wheel, if you had to guess?
Probably just about 120.
Which is plenty.
It's the torque.
Yeah.
It's the torque. By the time they
Pulls
realize
hard.
I'm hitting the throttle,
The race is over.
already gone. But it doesn't compare.
Yeah, these are a joy to drive. We drove this up to the top of what was it mountain we're on? Prospect Mountain 2. We actually recorded a video for an Eagle Scout for his letter of reference who asked me to do it on top of the mountain, and I figured, you know what? I rode it up the little dirt road and up the rocks, and I tried to get it to the very top, but I was like, you know, I'm going to bottom out the bottom end of this, but I wouldn't have tried that on a road glide, you know. So it was funny. It was funny because when we went up there, it said road closed, right? And there was cones, and we can fit between those. And we rode up to the top, and the road was closed, and there was a bunch of other guys up there. And I was like, "Hey, are you guys authorized to be up here?" You know, and we're kidding around. And then the Blue Knights came up, and I said, "Well, you guys are the cops, so you can go do whatever you want to do, anyways, right?" They had the Blue Knights MC showed up, so they asked us to take pictures of them, which we did, which is cool.
Up there. It's nice at the top of Prospect Mountain.
Yeah.
Otis Elevator got their start from Prospect Mountain. They built a trolley car that took the rich up from the bottom of at Lake George in the Village. Otis built a trolley car that would take the rich men and women to the top so that they could see the lake, and that's how they got their start.
Oh, wow.
So the lake here was really a resort for the wealthy back in the day. That coming up from New York City, and there was you called it Millionaires Row or something.
Yeah, it's called the $1 Million Mile. There's a lot of mansions that were built in the 1800s, the early 1900s,
And they're still here, a lot of them, right?
Oh yeah. But they're very. It's just that this is where they came to escape the heat of the city.
So guys, Americade, if you do your research, it's booked as the world's largest touring rally. A lot of touring bikes, and if you want to have the best of both worlds, if you want to ride a Harley, like I can't have a Hayabusa. My inner child is way too much alive for me to have a Hayabusa. I'd probably kill myself and lose my license. And I just got my CDL Class A. I don't want to have it yanked for doing over 100 miles an hour. So in any event,
you never know it.
the Harley, the Harley is keep. I think it'll keep me out of trouble, but maybe not this one. But if you want a touring bike that you can have fun on, ride two up, highly recommend the 22 Lowrider ST. Harley should be selling out of these. They're selling like hotcakes.
Amen.
So you've been a long term since 40 years. You've been coming up to Lake George, and you own a house waterfront. What do you recommend for the motorcyclists coming up here to see? I mean, I think the tower we went up to, what was the road we went up to? The tower? What was it called?
Prospect
Mountain. You got to see.
Mountain
Yeah,
is fantastic.
You got to see Prospect Mountain.
Riding around the lake is fantastic. You can go. You can come up 9N North. There's a little ferry that takes you across Lake. What's really Lake Champlain.
Yep.
Because at the north end of Lake George meets the south end of Lake Champlain. There's a little ferry. You can put your motorcycles on the ferry. It'll take you across. Now you go down Route 22 back to the south end of the lake. It's about a 70-80 mile ride. Gets you close to the Green Mountains of Vermont. It's just beautiful country.
Pretty much everywhere you go around here is
Everywhere
beautiful
you
country.
turn.
I haven't seen a road I don't like. They're all curvy and like a roller coaster up and down.
They're great.
It's if you're a tourer, this is the place to
Where
ride.
are we going to eat? What's the name of the place?
We're gonna go back down 9N and we're gonna stop at the Algonquin, which is on the water.
The Algonquin on the water. I heard that's one of the better places. So, guys, thanks for watching. I had just such an adrenaline rush in that ride. I had to share with you guys how much fun these Harleys. If you get a chance to come up here to Laconia, whatever it is on two wheels, bring it up. Not Laconia, Americade. We're going to Laconia. We're leaving for Laconia actually Tuesday morning. We'll be up there for the Gypsy Rally, and I'm doing hill climb. So, get up to these events. You're going to be dead a long time. This is not a dress rehearsal. Stay sober, and you can have as much fun sober and crazy like we are as way more than you'll ever have drinking and drugging sitting at home. So put down the booze, lay off the grass and turn on the gas. Go for it, because this is nothing more fun than being up here, up in the mountains here, just riding on these roads, man. It's something you can really feel it. So I hope you viewers who haven't made it up here yet, put it on your bucket list. Get your butt up here. Harley has great financing terms. Finance one. What the hell? You can't take it with you. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.